Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello everyone. We made it to Friday. Can you believe it? We did it. We bleeping did it. How you doing out there today on a Friday? Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're doing well. I guess it's kind of rhetorical unless you're here to actually answer me, but you could answer me. You can drop it in the comments and let me know how the heck you're doing out there because it's important to me and I care about you. Because without you, there's no me. What's the point of me being here if there wasn't a you to perceive or interpret or work with what I'm doing? I don't know what to say there, but it is what it is. You know how I go. Thanks for being here with me today, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday. Let's see here. What the heck? What am I? I don't know. I just want to. Today's Friday. What do you guys got going on for the weekend? Let me know. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Okay, seriously. Let's get into it. I am Pete Palma. This is Operation Status Quo. Of course, you know the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. And, things are getting, more and more every day. It's just so crazy. Before, obviously, if you see the title, we're doing just the facts, ma'am, today. We're up to part 10. Isn't that great? That's a lot of facts that we've been going through. I haven't done just the facts, ma'am, since September, I realized. It was like the end of September the last time that I did one of these episodes. So I thought it'd be fun, too, especially on a Friday. It's always fun to have a good time. And, we'll kick around our little fun facts list here and see what's what. But just to speak quickly on, the state of the world, because that's what I care about. I do care about. I care about it in the sense of like there's so much, right? There's so many levels of like what's going on, and I know it always seems so heavy and blah 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 blah, and I don't know how anything's going to turn out. I mean, none of us do, right? Everything just happens as it's meant to happen. That's the whole thing of trusting in the universe and such. But we have to. Remember just not to get too wrapped up in certain things here because, I watch a lot of different people speak on things and you got the, who speaks on World War III is coming, who speaks on, the food shortages and the economy crashing and everything else. And it's going to be like Mad Max world and you're going to have to, sit in your house, hunkered down with a gun to protect your can of tuna, So I really don't think, I think there will be a degree of discomfort because the only way people ever wake up to anything or do anything of importance is if there's discomfort involved, right? And they're kind of forced in a position to do something. I hear a lot of these people too talk about, which is a great thing, of course, owning land and, having your own resources, a house that's near a water source, having your own chickens or cattle or whatever, right? You're growing your own food and all that type of thing. And, I think about it sometimes. I think like, I can go out to the middle of the country somewhere, I guess, buy some acres of land and a house and, just kind of live. And then I say to myself, though, as much as like, I don't want to live that way is what I realize. Like, I don't, not that I don't, I'm all about like living off the land and, using earth the right way. But I just mean like, I don't want to like, I'm a social person. I like being around people. I like being in a community. I don't want to put myself out on some acres of land where I'm all by myself with me and my blueberry bush. You know what I mean? Like, if the world really got to that point, we all do our best to prepare, especially mentally and emotionally, more so than anything else, but we get to our space of, to try to prepare for things that could happen, ultimately in the world. But if the world really got to a point where like it's some kind of zombie apocalypse or something, do you really want to even be involved? Like, do you want to spend your whole life just like, trying to just survive for what? Like at that point, so I don't know. I'm not going that route. I'm staying here where there's a lot of population. And I guess if I get trampled to death, that's what'll happen if it gets to that level. But I just find it interesting. I think it's all great. Hopefully we get to a space where we utilize our land in a better way where, instead of building, strip malls and bullshit, we actually are building local community farms where people live in an area and work on land together and stuff. We get back to, some of the basics of humanity. All that would be great, So I don't know. I guess today I just thinking of all that stuff because like, I really think we're going to see some stuff before the end of this year. I started talking about this back after Labor Day, and there's a lot of things going on, in the world, with our financial system. And I said this before too, maybe a couple weeks, a month ago. I don't remember when I said, but I really realized that, it all comes down to money ultimately, right? So if whatever cataclysmic event is going to occur, it's going to have somehow going to be put in with our financial system, because it's always about the money, and no one does anything unless it hits them in their pocketbooks. So unless like the system has some kind of crazy crash or something happens where people can't use their credit card or do their normal things that they like to do, no one's going to do anything. So that's why I really think that we should be keeping an eye out for that, and to be mentally and emotionally prepared for that, right? So that we don't overreact and give our power away any further when the powers that be try to trap us in a new system based on the bullshit that they created to begin with, right? So, all right. Anyway, so today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a fun time here on Operation Status Quo. Today is what is today? Today is the 8th of December in the good year 2023. And today's program, of course, is entitled Just the Facts, Ma'am, Part 10. I couldn't believe it either when I looked. I was like, I wonder what we're up to. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be part 10 of Just the Facts. So here we go with Just the Facts. I got to say sorry a little bit here today, because this site that I normally use for the facts is just going crazy with freaking ads and pop-ups, and usually it doesn't do that. So I was having a hard time to even get to where I needed to get to on this list. But I'm here now, and I hope you're there, and I'm glad you're there, and here we go. It's the first one on the list today for fun facts here, just the facts, ma'am, I should say, on Operation Status Quo. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, apple pie isn't actually American. Well, how about that? I'm not really surprised, since, the whole idea of America is commercialism and lies and selling stuff and stealing from others, right? Not for anything, our national anthem it was taken from an old Irish drinking song, so it's not like anything original really comes, for the guise of freedom and what they want us to hold on to. But apples originally come from Asia. The first pies were baked in medieval Europe. Even the concept of putting apples in pie traces back to a recipe from England in 1381. Nevertheless, the phrase "as American as apple pie" turned up by 1924 and became a common saying during the years of the Second World War. Yeah, while they were sending everybody off to die, they were feeding them apple pies. let's get the sugar rush going, so we can, once we win this war, we can start to fatten up and disease our Americans. So it's fun. Isn't that funny though? Like, the apple pie been around, has this whole history, and then all of a sudden somebody says, let's say as American as apple pie, we just take something and turn it into American, right? So there you go. Make sure you know that, ladies and gentlemen, that the apple pies aren't actually as American as you may think. All right. Anyway, so next one on the list here, pigs. Pigs are constitutionally protected in Florida. This is great because I'm in Florida, and sometimes I consider myself to be a little bit of a pig. There's our piggy friends. Hello, Mr. Piggy. How you doing today? Yeah? You enjoy living in Florida? Yeah, because you're constitutionally protected. You have rights here. Yeah. No, I understand. All right, I know you want to go back to your mud. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you for being here. There's our pig friend, ladies and gentlemen, visiting us here on Operation Status Quo. We can use a few pigs on this show. Hey-o. Maybe we can use a few less. But let's see. First written in 1838, the Constitution of the state of Florida guarantees the right to privacy, the freedom of speech, and the right of pregnant pigs to be free from cages. Unlike many crazy or outdated laws, this amendment is recent. It was passed in 2002 and comes from a well-meaning place, the prevention of cruelty to animals. During pregnancy, a pig must not be caged or even tethered, such as it can't turn around freely. So I guess a lot of times they put pigs in cages while they're pregnant. I saw a video with the pig one time where the baby pig was away from the mother, and the mother was was separate, and the mother was tethered and couldn't get, and the little baby pig's crying, and the mother's trying to get to it and can't. I mean, I don't understand how people can treat animals this way. It's just like the craziest thing to me. Like, even if you have animals that you're going to use, for whatever, I just mean, like, you tie them up, you keep the babies away from them. I mean, it's just a sick thing. I'm sure a lot of you people out there have seen, videos on the cruelty to animals that goes on, and it's just really kind of sick and twisted. And hopefully, as we break free of this 3D paradigm, we can move forward and be a little bit better in that regard as well. So we're looking forward to that. How about this? The next one on the list, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, Mr. Cherry. Mr. Cherry. Do you know Mr. Cherry? Well, we'll find out about Mr. Cherry in just a second. But Mr. Cherry breaks all the records you've never heard of. That's right. Japan's record breaker for the most records broken is Cherry Yoshitaki. I guess it's like Yoshitaki. That's what it looks like. Anyway, but you can look them up, Google it. If I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. But this Cherry is a children's entertainer who goes by Mr. Cherry. In 2018 alone, Mr. Cherry set 1-minute records for the most pairs of underwear pulled on. He pulled on 36 pairs of underwear in a minute. He the most baked beans. Sorry, I apologize. I heard something. My windows are open. I heard something like somebody yelling outside. So I don't know if you heard that or picked it up on the mic or what. But anyway, it threw me off. I'm going to make sure somebody's not climbing up my window and into my house. The most baked beans eaten. He ate 71 cans of baked beans. And I don't know if it was 71 baked beans. It said the most baked beans eaten, 71. So maybe just 71 individual beans in a minute. And the most apples bobbed. He bobbed 37 apples. I don't know if it's in a minute, though. He set 1-minute records for the most pair of underwear pulled on 36, the most baked beans eaten, 71, and the most apples bobbed. He was able to bob 37 apples in a minute. Isn't that amazing? Wow, that's pretty good. I probably would drown if I was to attempt that. If you're allergic to apples, don't attempt that. And don't attempt it in America because apple pie is not American. And we should, at this point, I think we should just get rid of apples out of this country altogether to show our solidarity behind the fact that we do not want to be liars. Okay? Next one on the list here is sweat doesn't actually stink, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's true. I usually probably you stink. The sweat doesn't stink. It's the pollution inside your body when it comes out that stinks, actually. But let's see what they say here. You might notice that any sweat you produce right after a shower doesn't smell so bad. That's because your sweat itself isn't stinky. It's the bacteria on your skin that breaks the sweat down that causes the odor. Additionally, you'll find that the sweat on your arms and legs doesn't smell as much as your armpits. That's because sweat glands in your armpits secrete more protein into a dark, damp environment, the perfect place and food for bacteria. Well, they do say that a lot with the bacteria and stuff, but I will say the truth is, if you really eat like a clean diet and such, you're not going to smell really, because you generally smell because your body is toxic, and it's the toxins that are coming out that are whatever they want to say, bacteria, whatever, So I've learned this myself, ladies and gentlemen, over the years, especially since COVID, when I really haven't had to use deodorant at all. I mean, I don't really go anywhere, so why put that poison onto my skin? And I smell myself pretty damn good. All right, what do we got here? Some planets produce diamond rain. How about that? I'm surprised that we haven't gone. Here we go. Saturn and Jupiter are gas giant planets that produce a truly unique form of weather. Recently, scientists discovered that there is plenty of carbon in these atmospheres. When carbon soots get hit by lightning, it hardens into graphite and falls downward, where the pressure of the atmosphere hardens it further until it becomes a diamond. Storms on these planets may literally rain diamonds as big as a centimeter across. Now, knowing that they know this, the way our world is, I'm surprised that they're not there trying to steal every last diamond they can get their hands on. And how do you think they really know this kind of crap? I'm just trying to say, and this goes on to when I get on those little flat Earth kicks and stuff sometimes. And I'm not saying that the Earth is flat, and I'm not saying that there's not planets. Okay, so let's just stop there before we get too crazy. But the truth is, like Saturn, Jupiter, how many, whatever they say, however many billions, millions, I don't know, miles away that they are, but they're able to see that the planet is raining diamonds. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to say. Either there's technology that we don't know about, or we're not being told the whole story of how this whole configuration of our planetary system is actually working, right? Sharks can live for 5 centuries. That would be 500 years, ladies and gentlemen, in case you were wondering. Greenland sharks are known to be some of the oldest living animals in our world. Researchers did carbon dating on a Greenland shark that was caught in 2014 and found it to be around 392 years old. Further testing revealed that our fishy friends could be up to 500 years old. Yes, that would mean that our geriatric friends would have to be alive when Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. Well, can you imagine there still could be sharks swimming out there right now that were alive like way back then, like when Leonardo da Vinci was painting the Mona Lisa, that there's still sharks alive from that. So I wonder if like maybe one of those sharks actually ate Leonardo da Vinci. You never know, So you can probably cut them open and go through the digestive tract and see if you find a couple paintbrushes in there, and then you'll know that that's what happened. But pretty interesting. Imagine living 500 years. I mean, I'm just trying to say, like, look, this life is hard enough, and you're struggling and clawing and scratching, just to get to 80, 90. If, and by then you're ready to go anyway. So, this poor, sharks, they got to keep swimming. That's 500 years of constant swimming. I mean, that's a lot of work. And probably the shark's saying, Jesus, let me go already, for goodness sake. Anyway, there's an entire town under a rock. Okay, there's an entire town under a rock. If you've ever been accused of living under a rock, you'll feel right at home in, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Setenil de las Bodegas. It's in Spain, so I apologize for my horrible Spanish translation there, but this spot in Spain, many of this tiny town, 3,000 residents, live and work and play in a gorge beneath a huge rocky outcropping where homes are built right into the rock. It provides so much shelter that historians think this area has been occupied by human settlements since the Stone Age. I was always a proponent of this, like, as far as like how we build our domiciles, as it were. I always felt that we should really live underground, right? Because if you live underground, it's warmer in the winter and it's cooler in the summer. You don't need all the air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. It just is naturally the way it needs to be, right? So, we should just build all of our facilities underground to live. That'd be kind of neat, or especially into the sides of the mountains or into the sides of the rock, like these people are saying. That's kind of pretty cool. I mean, we should be using the earth the way it's meant to be used for us to live our best, right? Instead of like we build these inefficient, in a way, places of living that kind of eat up resources, right? So instead of doing that, we can work with the resources and make homes that'll last thousands of years. These guys have been since the Stone Age. It's like, oh, what year is your house? My house was built in 532 AD. All right. Anyway, we've got a few more here for you, ladies and gentlemen, on Operation Status Quo. You having a good time out there? I'm glad you're here with me. Please let me know. Drop your comments and like, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to keep this channel going. My views get taken away every single day. I had all these videos over the last 3 days that had close to 20 views, and they're all down to 1, 2, 3. I mean, it just happens so crazy now. It's just really something else. But I will not give up, because I love you people out there, and somebody's got to be hearing this somewhere. Somewhere out there is you, right? And you're watching and you're enjoying, and that's why I'm here. It is illegal to sell a bounceless pickle to somebody in Connecticut. What the hell is a bounceless pickle? I never even heard of that. This law puts Connecticut librarians in quite the pickle, okay? The law actually arose as a legend, and the people demanded the truth. For hours, librarians in the state scammed past archives of laws within the state until one librarian eventually found the truth in the Hartford, whatever paper this was. The law was, in fact, an ordinance that was created in 1945 to thwart pickle packers. What the fuck? Moses Dexler and Sidney Sparer. I don't know. These two men were selling inedible pickles, so laboratories conducted experiments and found that if it doesn't bounce, don't eat an ounce. So if it doesn't bounce, don't eat an ounce. I've never tested this. I've never even heard of something like this. So somebody was selling inedible pickles to people. I don't know why you make fake pickles of all things, but anyway, inedible pickles. So now they want you to know you have to bounce your pickles. So do this next time you go to the grocery store. Pop open the jar, drop the pickle on the floor, see if it bounces. This way you're getting a legitimate pickle. Otherwise, you may be in a pickle, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want to eat inedible food, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the point of food. Yeah, food should be edible, not inedible, right? I was like when I was in middle school. I remember when I was in middle school and I saw the boxes of the meat for the burgers that they would sell, and it was back in the the cafeteria area, obviously, in the in the school, and I would see on the box it said grade E, but edible. I think that's what he used to say. It wasn't grade D. I think it was grade E. Grade E, but edible. That's what it said on the box. for what they were serving kids in school. Grade E, but edible. Can you imagine, going to a school and, they're served lunches and it's like they're trying to find the cheapest shit they can possibly find. Like you wouldn't even give this to your dog probably, right? For most people. All right, two more. The Bermuda Triangle isn't any more likely to cause a mysterious disappearance than anywhere else. Well, that's what they say, but apparently the person who wrote this, disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know if that's true. But the area in the North Atlantic Sea, also called the Devil's Triangle because it's the area of the ocean that stretches between the tip of Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. It has been thought to seemingly swallow up ships and aircraft. Explorers as far back as Christopher Columbus have reported odd occurrences like fireballs in the sky that turned out to be meteor crashing, whatever. It's probably could be the aliens. Who do you know? They always want to dismiss everything. Right? Of course, they want to tell you the Bermuda Triangle. Don't be afraid of it. There's nothing, nothing there. But there's a lot of stories of things that have happened. Everything is energy on our planet. There are energetic centers, on the planet. I believe that the Bermuda Triangle is one of them for better or for worse, whatever it's the purpose it serves. But anyway. Of course, here, this is our mainstream stuff. So historians and scientists in the U.S. Coast Guard have proven that vessels are no more likely to disappear in the Bermuda Triangle than they are anywhere else in the ocean. Many prior disappearances have been demystified as remains of numerous wrecks were discovered or explained by weather patterns in the area at that time. So they're saying that, of course, they can just explain everything away. That's what they do here, especially in today's world and especially our beautiful science world of today, right? We just make up new shit and just explain things away. There's no reason to go any further or believe that anything mystical or beyond a rational physical explanation, 3D explanation, there's no reason for any of that to possibly exist. So let's just turn it off. We should just stop calling it the Bermuda Triangle. It's not the Bermuda Triangle anymore. It's the Bermuda safe place. The Bermuda safe place. That's what they should call it from now on. All right, we got the last one on the list here for you today. And what do we have here? There's a world record and a happy ending for the greatest distance thrown in a car accident. How about that? A world record and a happy ending. So I guess this person, went for a massage after they got for the recovery of the car accident. But anyway, let's just see for here. Anyway, this is one record you may not want to try and top. A car traveling 70 miles per hour struck Matthew McKnight, an off-duty paramedic, while he was stopped to help out with an accident on the side of an interstate in 2001. He was thrown 118 feet, almost half a football field. Eric Brader, his emergency room physician, told McKnight he should send it into the Guinness Book of World Records, but McKnight brushed it off as a joke. Brader was so impressed by the feat that he did send the paperwork in anyways, which was approved in 2003, but didn't make the cut until 2008. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This guy was thrown. I don't know how it's a happy ending. I mean, I guess maybe because he lived, but God knows what kind of shape he was in after he got hit by a car and was thrown 118 feet. The only positive here is that he was a paramedic, so he was able to give himself first aid treatment immediately on the scene until further paramedics arrived to continue the treatment. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen! Oh, no! Oh, stop it! What? Wait! Hey-o! All right, Operation Status Quo. You know what it is. Come on, people. I love you guys out there. Stay positive. Keep living, true to your heart. Do what's right for you. Be open-minded. Be critical thinking. Observe the world around you. Be mindful of your surroundings. That's what we're all, talking about here. And in the middle of all that kind of stuff, we have fun and talk about a bunch of nonsense, right? I mean, that's just kind of what goes on here on Operation Status Quo. So I love you guys out there individually as well as a group. I appreciate your time as I always do. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you continue on having a happy holiday season as we get closer and closer. Really, we're only a couple weeks away now, right? Today's the 8th, so the 15th, and then the 22nd, which will be Friday, 23rd. So Christmas Eve is that Sunday then, right? So in a couple of weeks, We're there already. Whew. I hope you got your decorations up because you're going to have to take them down. Nobody likes to see decorations up after, the first of the year, okay? So just, don't be one of those people that still got your shit up in February. It's really annoying, okay? Anyway, yes, like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. I think I said I love each and every one of you multiple times already today, and you know that I do so, but it doesn't hurt to say it again because I do love each and every one of you individually as well as a group. God bless you out there. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, and I'll be catching up with you on Monday. Until then, Operation Status Quo disengaged.
Is a boulevard of 10 short blocks